Welcome to Corrective Consciousness episode 295, the podcast where we explore the inanity of pop culture. I'm your host, vysethebold, and this is...
Lotus Prince.
And Dracologist.
And we have another wonderful show here for you. We figured we do these every once in a while, a now playing kind of podcast where we just go over all of the games that and movies and other media that we are experiencing right now. The one game that I'm playing right now, I actually decided to play a little bit of Crosscode.
That game is just brilliant.
Yeah, I'm really having a lot of fun with it so far. I think it kind of takes a little bit to get going because after you have the tutorial, you have a pretty large area full of like a lot of like text dumpy kind of stuff.
And one other thing is when you get into proper dungeons that require puzzle solving, some of that stuff's pretty rough.
Yeah, but I'm into the first combat area, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with the combat. So I'm really enjoying that so far.
The game is incredibly charming, and I do recommend getting the DLC called. Well, it's the only DLC. I don't even know if I want to name it right now, but it's like the proper epilogue.
Oh, I think it's included in the Switch version, if I'm not mistaken. So,
if so, then good for you. But it's a great conclusion to a great game.
Yeah, I'm really excited to play it. I mean, this is definitely like one of those indie darling games.
Oh, literally, this was an Indiegogo funded game.
Yeah.
I actually backed this one. It's great.
I'm excited to be playing it. I'm really enjoying it so far. So good. I know that it does have a physical edition via Einen games as well.
Yes.
It's kind of making me wish I had it because I think I picked it up on sale. Einen it does really well with the digital.
Well, here's the thing with the physical version, or versus the digital. Like, how are you playing it right now? What platform?
Via Switch.
It's Switch anyway. Okay, because I was gonna mention there's a cute little multi-platform quest late in the game that each platform has a clue to get to the end of, and there's a unique little mini dungeon in each platform. So whenever you get to that, I will not have played that, whereas you will not have played the one that I did because I played it on PS4.
Oh, okay. So there's a unique.
There's a PS4
area.
Specific little dungeon. There's a Switch specific little dungeon, and there's a Steam specific one.
Oh, cool. Well, that's pretty neat. That each version has its own little thing going on.
This was supposed to be one of those. Oh no, I forgot.
Reward?
I'm sorry.
Is it like a backer reward?
No. Oh no! What's the word? Is it ARG? Augmented reality?
Oh, okay.
Where you're supposed to get the players to talk to each other online. I found this thing on my platform, but I don't know the rest of it. Oh, I found a different thing on my platform, and now we know. But it was a cool little feature at the time.
It's kind of like a Clue when that was released in theaters, right?
That reminds me of Inscription.
Oh, I've heard good things about Inscription.
Now, I'm thoroughly enjoying that. I actually played that on the way from home on a plane ride from Florida. So
and you're gonna want to watch out for later combat situations. By the way, those games don't mess around. You gotta get in your dodging and your counterattacks and manage your. I forgot what it's called. Your energy, your mana, whatever it is.
Your balls.
Well, yeah, kind of. But those games, or this game, some of the optional bosses are very difficult.
I'm excited. I really like this type of game. I like kind of retro inspired stuff with modern gameplay.
Yeah, loads of love was put into this one.
Yeah. It's definitely has a lot of content. I can already tell.
Yes.
And that's really impressive from an indie game standpoint.
Yeah, and the sprite work is gorgeous. The soundtrack is great. This game hits them all.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the game so far. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh, and it's also a clever take on the mute character, because there are way too many games where mute characters mean there's no personality. Like in Fallout and
Portal.
Dark Souls or whatever, like you're supposed to insert yourself into the character, but like in Dragon Quest or Chrono Trigger, I think you were kind of supposed to insert yourself into the character,
Yeah.
except that they're characters with particular names and looks and histories, and they just don't talk, and it's weird.
Yeah.
So in Crosscode,
Gordon.
they what was it?
Gordon, how are you doing, Mr.
Gordon Freeman.
Yeah. They at least played with that. But with
Shell in Portal has a reason for not talking.
I'm
yeah.
not going to give her the satisfaction.
Well, no, she just can't
in Portal
talk.
2, in Portal 2.
Yeah.
Because everything got fucked up. But in Crosscode, though, like, you were supposed to be able to talk, but there was an error, and they're trying to restore your ability to talk, so you get, like, a word at a time. It's pretty clever.
Yeah, and it's kind of drip fed.
Yeah.
You know, she could say her hi and her name, Lee.
Yeah, like, we'll get more when we can. Sorry, we'll get back to you later. They actually have very clever ways of executing your minimalistic speaking.
You know what? It's
Yeah.
always like, there is other ways to communicate than just speaking. Like, you can emote with your face and your limbs.
And that is a thing. You do that, too.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that a lot so far. I kind of just need something to pass the time, and I've been enjoying that one in particular. I also did pick up Elden Ring. It is. I got killed by that first tutorial boss like very, very freaking quickly.
Well, you're supposed to.
I know.
Welcome to Souls games.
Yeah, exactly.
My problem is I tried fighting that boss, but I never got a good hit off because I was trying to like time my dodge rolls. But like, I don't know if you noticed, but your forward roll pretty quick, and your side roll is fucking atrocious. So I was like, let me dodge to the side, and I just got ganked. And I'm like, what the fuck? So
yeah, he kind of like envelops you with all of his arms, full of weapons, and so like he kind of just like brings you in and stabs you. So
and this is another one of those bosses where you can beat him, and it doesn't like if you do, it's like Demon Souls. They give you a couple items, like a couple of like lower tier items early. Like, here's something.
Yeah, but like I guess I had the same experience that almost everyone did. It's just like he just fucking murders you. Because like I think he only hit me once, if that.
I think I got hit like it might have been like
maybe.
once or twice for me because I was playing as hero, so I had a degree of armor.
Yeah, he just straight up murdered me. And then what's really funny is the next like named enemy that you encounter is a fucking cinch. He's just like fucking easy as hell.
Oh, the guy in the tutorial dungeon?
Yeah, the
it's literally just a soldier, except he
guy.
has a name.
Yeah.
Like I tagged him once, and it's like a quarter of his health. I'm like, oh, what?
He was a weenie. I don't think he even hit me once.
Yeah, but did you step outside though and like actually encounter the game?
No. I think that was the last thing I did.
Yeah, because once you leave the cave, it's like, oh yeah, this is an open world game, and you see the open worlds, and there's a named enemy early in that is no joke.
No, okay. Yeah, I got to like the first little fog area where I can't get through it.
Yeah.
It's like in the sewer kind of there.
Oh, the funny thing, I started the game with the like, you know how you could choose an item to start the game with?
Sure.
I chose the consumable item that dispels those fog gates, like the fragrant branch of yore in Dark Souls 2. So I did get in there, but that's an area I wasn't really prepared for.
Yeah. I'd imagine so.
Like, cause I only played the game for an hour and a half myself, so I'm still I'm level like 1 or 2 or something. I pumped my strength once or twice. It's like whatever. But like, this game was looking interesting. Surprise, surprise.
I mean, you know, it's. Oh, go ahead.
I think what I saw, like I saw one very creepy boss, and the usual message gigs that people do because Dark Souls community have a sense of humor about them apparently.
Yeah, I'm like I don't have PS Plus. I'm playing offline, so the only messages I see are the in-game ones.
There's a lot of troll stuff going on.
Of course,
less troll and more like just being silly. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard of one particularly famous one, but otherwise, like, it's just never my thing.
It's it's at the bottom here, and it's just like step off and fucking kill yourself.
try
Well, actually,
behind
speaking
finger
of which,
hold.
yeah, of course. But of course, there is actually, like, legitimately a sort of tutorial area if you fall off this one little cliff area, and players either didn't notice it because it's a little off to the side from where they should be going, or they thought it was a lie because it would be a lie, but it's actually not.
Oh, you mean like where it says jump off down into this pit?
Yeah, and there's an NPC right there who's like, no, really, do it. But players were like, nope, 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 nope. So
Yeah, no, I ended up doing that, and I was like, they might fucking kill me, but I'll try it. And
yeah, I was playing offline, so I knew it was legit.
yeah, well, no, I even like a Dark Souls game might even still trick you into going into some place.
No,
and killing
no,
you.
no, 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 they don't. Like, I mean, they have traps and they have like walk on a thing and like the ground falls out under you, but they don't have like they don't lie to you.
I guess.
Like, that's fucking horseshit. You should try going down there and you fucking die. Like, that's fucking disingenuous. Like, players will do that, but like FromSoft does not.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. I mean, I am fucking floored that you could jump in this game.
Yeah, like
What
Sekiro.
technology?
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine? Like, I mean, Sekiro allowed for that, but like Sekiro was a Tenchu game. Like, this is an actual
Yeah.
like more like Souls-like game where you could just straight up jump. It was
And
kind of
boy,
funny
is it a
'cause-
Souls-like game. Like the interface and everything is exactly the same as all the other games. So
Well, not exactly. Triangle is the do thing.
no, I
button.
mean I meant the UI and
the
all
UI.
that.
Well, the funny thing is, I saw people talking about the UI on Twitter. They're baffled by its minimalism, and it's like, well, you can see the fucking game. But the funny thing is, even your health, stamina, and magic are not visible until like you aggro an enemy, which is pretty cool. Similarly, you have infinite stamina until you aggro an enemy. Because you know what's annoying? Running across on Orlando and there's nothing in the way, and you have to keep stopping and recharging your stamina. So, like, you know what? No. Run as much as you want, and when you get into an actual fight, then you have to manage your stamina with blocking and stuff. Like that, you know what? That's really nice.
Yeah, I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying everything. So far so good. I mean, it's definitely like a Souls-like game. So like, I definitely like have high anxiety when I'm playing it because like, you know, you could definitely make a permanent choice in the game without.
Well, that's why
even
I've
knowing
barely
it.
been playing. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for a guide, and I know everyone's like, "Oh, the exploration is the true aspect of this game."
Oh,
Good for
one of
you.
my-
I'm waiting for a guide.
One of my friends was made a sort of comment on it, like why I don't like this game, because why I don't like most Souls games. Like, player pulls an inconspicuous lever somewhere on the map, on the other side of the map. Important character suddenly just clutch to their chest and die for no
Yeah,
good
pretty
Yeah.
much. Like, so when I go for like a trophy run, I'm gonna wait for a guide to come out. But I'm just like I'm just messing around on my stream and like oh no, you missed something. I don't care. Like, I'm just fucking around on my stream. Like, I might stream it one more time and just kind of like jog around the overworld area and just see what happens. But when I do a more dedicated playthrough, I'll wait for a guide.
Yeah, I'm enjoying everything so far. I like I said, I'm like you said, I'm probably gonna wait for a guide to come out just because like I feel like the kind of player that really likes playing it without a guide might only play this game this year. You know what I mean? Like
Well, yeah, you've had your experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're not a completionist. You got your fulfillment of adventure. So like, fair enough.
Yeah, when I played Dark Souls, I wanted to play it a specific way. I wanted to have I had a
Get the
specific
good endings
ending
to
in
the quest
mind.
lines. Yeah.
I wanted to beat it with Solaire, and I did. Like I
Yeah,
wanted
that
to.
that one that Solaire is like the sole reason you use a guide for like NPC quests in that game. It's so easy to mess that one up.
Yeah. So like, I wanted Solaire to be by my side while I was, beating the final boss, and I wanted a specific outcome. So I had no problem playing that as a guide because like. Most games, telegraph, give you a clear choice, but these do not. So they can be a little obtuse even to reach like major parts of content. So
Oh yeah, there are
especially
whole
like
levels that you
DLCs.
can miss in Dark Souls 1.
Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff like that. So and I can end up like consuming the wrong thing. Like I consumed a special soul by accident in Demon Souls way back when. So
Oh
I'm
yeah, like
traumatized from that.
it's funny because it's obviously a unique item, but like you didn't at the time know that you could use it for
I
things
just
other
thought it gave
than
you just a lot of souls. I didn't
yeah,
realize you could use it to power up your staff or whatever. To
yeah, or
to
like
give you
unlock a magic attack.
exactly,
Yeah, because you hadn't met the blacksmith yet.
and it was one of the better early magic attacks. So like I was like, oh well, fuck this, and so like I stopped playing. But then I picked up Dark Souls again later, and I ended up loving it. But I was a little apprehensive when I played it because it was intimidating because like you could easily kill one of the NPCs by accident. You could make the wrong choice. The game has consequences, and I don't always want to put up with them. So playing with a guide is the way to be. I'm enjoying it, but like I said, I have to be in the specific mood of a frame of mind in order to play a stressful game like that. To me, that type of game is very stressful. You're always on pins and needles, uh, you know, trying over and over and over again, specific runs and stuff like that. So I'll let everybody else speak at this point.
All right, Dracologist, you playing anything interesting right now?
Oh boy. I've been playing a lot of modern Doom lately, but that's not worth
There you
mentioning.
go.
That it's basically just trying to polish up some stuff.
Well, I mean,
Maybe.
Doom is like endlessly moddable. Like there are a lot of Doom mods I've seen that like don't even
Oh,
resemble Doom.
don't even start. Like,
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
I did
There's that one
show
Sonic the Hedgehog game that's like on the Doom engine.
Really?
there is Donkey Kong
Well,
on
it's not
the
official, but yes.
Doom engine, but
I gathered.
anyway,
That's pretty cool
so
though.
there I shown why this is a little oldie but goldie game called Hover Race, which is fucking adorable. It's just not very good with multiplayer because it came out in the decade or the era of LAN games, not online multiplayer.
Oh, okay.
Been trying to wrestle with Horizon Zero Dawn hard difficulty in the championships, but that game is getting increasingly more bullshit because, of course, difficulty scaling is not its professional part. The game called Adore got an update, so I have to start a new save. Ugh. Oh
Frustrating.
god. Uh, Occasionally play a little bit of Brigador, but most of the time I play a game that I am very fond of called Deep Rock Galactic. I don't know if you know that.
I do not.
Deep Rock Galactic is a sort of co-op online multiplayer game, but you can play it alone as well. I played mostly alone, but it's definitely like the whole concept is that it's a bit of uh, a bit of Team Fortress, a bit of um, Left 4 Dead, but you don't like. There are four classes, and there are occasions when you are swarmed by enemies. In that regard, the game relies on relay. Okay, start over. The game based on that there is this space mining company that employs dwarves on an alien planet to mine out precious resources. And you are one of these dwarves. You have four classes, and each class has their own special equipment, their light weapon, their main weapon, their special weapon, secondary weapon, their traveling tool, and their sort of special item. And you basically fighting a horde of alien insects while trying to complete various resource gathering missions.
That sounds like fun.
It is an absolute blast because so the various memes and habits of the Deep Rock Galactic player base is very amusing. Like standing one of the monsters in the well, not a monster, one of these sort of entities in the game is called a loot bug, which is this little grub little creature that is cute, shuffles around the globe, occasionally eats your resources that you forgot to pick up, and you can kill them to get more resources, but you can also pet them, and people are like very divided on killing them or petting them.
It's like that. It's like that Twitter account. It's like, can you pet the dog?
Yeah, I love that.
You can pet a lot of things in this game.
There we go.
My favorite can you pet the dog was like uh was the bloodstained one, because there's an enemy that is based basically on a Kickstarter reward of like they basically just modeled the enemy after the person's dog. It's like a
Okay.
giant dog, um, and it like just straight up attacks you, and they said, can you pet the dog? No. And then like the official Bloodstained Twitter account said, actually what you could do is you can freeze the dog. You could like freeze frame it, and you can go up to it and wave like the R2 stick or the R stick
Oh yeah, to adjust your aim, but it looks like your
to,
hand. Yeah.
to adjust your aim, and it's like you could peck this dog.
Oh, I don't remember what game it was. It might have actually. There's a chance it might have been Gungeon, where you could not pet the dog, but then after it was called out for that, they like patched it so you now can pet the dog with like the hunter's dog companion. That was kind of
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, absolutely.
But yes, you can have various. You can. There is various animals in the. Yeah. There are various alien species on this planet that you can interact with positively, and there are various other species that want to eat your face, including giant fire-breathing bugs
It's just
and
like real life.
and giant flies that take you for a ride that you don't want. It's
Nice.
fun. Like it, you have to see it to be honest. If you want to, like, I highly recommend getting it because it's good time. It's a good time waster. You can, if you want, you can play alone, and you are basically given a multi-purpose little drone that helps you collect stuff. And if you have
Now, what's the
multiple,
name of the game again? One more time for
Deep
me.
Rock Galactic.
Deep Rock Galactic. Yeah, this sounds like a lot of fun.
Lisa, there will be a new update soon. It will be probably patching in new events and new items. Uh, has its sense of humor. It's a little bit crass on sometimes, but it's also really funny. And again, it's one of those things that you can make your own fun with it, especially if there are other players around, because it is a blast when you are playing with other players because you are constantly yelling at each other. You are clear. You can openly like uh, prank other players by like I once, like, a guy was standing on a small cliff. I used like the 302 to dig out the platform around him and he plummeted into the floor. You can do
Yeah,
little cheeky things like that. It's
interesting.
amusing.
Nice, nice. Any other games that you are playing right now, Dracologist? Anything else that you're been messing around with?
I did finish, well, somewhat finished. I get one ending on Forgotten Hill Disillusion, which was a horror-based point-and-click game.
Oh yeah.
I, I it was alright. It was it had a couple of minutes where I had to do the usual point-and-click thing on picking up everything and rubbing it against everything. The usual point-and-click logic when you have to follow. You have to get the mind train of the developer to find what you have to do. But once you will do it and you will look at the clues, you realize, like, oh right,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
also get easy and no straight roads, which I need to play at some point.
Nice, nice. All right. Well, Lotus, what are you into right now? Other than Elden Ring, of course.
Yeah, I actually recently finished Indivisible. That was
Oh yeah,
that was the
Oh,
game that
that's a
was
great game.
yeah, it is. That
like
was
of Valkyrie
the
profile, right?
Kickstarter one. Yeah, it plays like Valkyrie Profile. It's a lot of fun. It has a lot of charm. Great aesthetic, great soundtrack. Generally great characters. Some of the secondary ones, like the optional ones, just like almost have nothing to do in the game. Even though like you could play as them and they have all unique combat skills, which is pretty amazing. But like some of them have more to say than others.
Yeah, I think that was actually a problem with the development of the game.
Well, probably. Like there are at least two characters that were supposed to be in the game and are not, and then two like DLC characters like Shantae and Shovel Knight who were supposed to be in the game but aren't, which is a shame because like the Lab Zero like collapsed.
Yeah, the game is sadly incomplete due to that.
Yeah, like you
that
could
thing.
beat the game and the story's super satisfying, but there are two base game characters that you're just not going to encounter.
Yeah, apparently there were scenarios to go along with those characters as well. Like
Well, that's the thing.
unique
Yeah, when you
dialogue
get
and
to
stuff.
end game, you can talk to the characters, and they each have like one little thing they've been trying to accomplish throughout the game, and you can help them do that. So I did that for all the characters that are actually in the game, and it's very satisfying. But there are the two that it's just not happening.
Yeah, and apparently they were all complete. They just
Oh yeah,
or
like
at least
I backed the game, and it comes with a little art book that shows you all the playable characters, and it has two of them that are not in fact playable because they never made it in.
Did you beat the
yeah
cat?
I'm sorry.
Did you beat the cat?
the cat.
There are I don't know what you mean.
Okay, never mind. That's just.
I mean, there's like a lion type enemy, like the tiger type from like your first
Nope.
partner.
Nope. Never mind.
I mean, like I platinumed the game, so whatever it is, I think I did do it, but I don't know what you mean.
It's an Easter egg boss. One of the backers appears as one of yes, I think it's a YouTuber who appears one of the cities and like. Did you see my cats? And this is surrounded by cats, but in the end you are finding somewhere on the one of the end levels there on these abstract dungeons you can find his cat and it is one of it is a very difficult boss due to the fact it is like you have to beat it like 9 times. And there are
Oh
no-
yeah, Yeah, I saw the guy who was asking about his cat, but like that wasn't attached to a trophy, and I guess it never got resolved. So maybe I didn't fight the cat. Oh well. But I did beat the game, and it was super satisfying, and I
Yeah.
really like seeing the main character's journey through it.
I
Great
picked that
game.
up
I would
on-
play it again.
I picked that up on Supercell. I got the retail version very very cheaply.
Sure.
A little while ago on PS4,
Yep.
and I'm excited to play it. I haven't had a chance to.
Yeah, the only thing I'll warn you about is that the game got patched somehow, but the patch incidentally made one particular side quest extremely difficult. There's this one character who's like, I will join you if you bring me these 3 things. So you have to defeat these 3 monsters that appear when she mentions their
I
existence.
know about that. Yes.
Yeah, but the patch makes them extremely overleveled. Like, you can beat them by endgame, but, like, you absolutely cannot beat them when you're supposed to beat them. Like, I was level 21 or something, and I just couldn't do it. And then I came back at level, like, 25 or whatever, or maybe a little higher. And, like, I beat, like, the first guy, and it took me, like, 25 minutes. It was fucking ridiculous.
Wow.
I mean, by endgame, you can do it, but by endgame, like, do you really need the new party member? But it's cool to see her for, like, her endgame quests and stuff like that, but, like, man, something happened with those creatures that makes them, like, two-shot you. I was like, oh, what? I was not ready for
Wow.
That game has a great rhythm. You need to have a great rhythm system. Otherwise, it's the complete like fighting game combined with turn-based combat is just great.
Yeah, you
Not
have,
for me, but I appreciate the effort.
yeah, you have, like, perfect blocks, which are absolutely required for those enemies, but, yeah. And in fact, they're literally required for a particular boss, like a base game boss. Like it's straight up mandatory. Otherwise, Vice, you're gonna like this one. I'm overdue on this one, but I actually started Bloodstained just a couple days ago.
Oh, how are you liking that?
I am liking it.
Good.
I beat the fourth boss. I don't know if I'm gonna follow through with this for the whole game, but I'm going for the no hit medals. So far so good.
I'm probably in the minority in saying this, but it might be my favorite traditional Metroidvania game.
It is very good so far. Yeah.
It's excellent. If I had to, I should say Castlevania like Metroidvania game.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to specify. To me, when you say Metroidvania, I view it as the kind that are well, I guess all of them kind of fit into this, but there's two distinct varieties. There's ones that take after Metroid, which is entirely ability based, and occasional weapon upgrades and that kind of thing. But like Ori and the Blind Forest is very much a Metroid like Metroidvania game. But there's also the Metroidvania, like the Castlevania Metroidvania end of it, which is has a lot of RPG elements, like leveling up and
Yeah, like Symphony of the Night, which like started this whole thing.
a lot of loot based stuff. Relying on drops and various weapon types and things like that. Highly customizable to the way you want to play it. And Bloodstained is probably the best of that. I think it's even a better game than Symphony of the Night, and Symphony of the Night is obviously the progenitor of all of that kind of game. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I would hope after 20 years it's better than that.
well, but it's hard to top something that was like insanely influential and like really great in and innovative. But this game does everything that game does and has the same heart and soul of it, just because it's made by the same guy, and it feels like it. It has all the goofy shit that
Yes.
I
Stupid flying pig summons.
yeah, it's just like really dumb crap that like you wouldn't use
God,
unless
Nicolas.
the like guitar shredding crystal, like that
Oh, I
is
haven't
so
seen that
funny.
one. I've just seen the stupid flying pigs, which are apparently surprisingly useful.
Oh, it's amazing. The guitar shredding.
By the way,
is just amazing.
one thing, I met the librarian who you've pointed out is voiced by the guy who did Alucard in Symphony of the Night. I wish they gave him the weird echo. That'd be
No,
great.
the echo's there.
Is it?
It's there. You just have to listen for it.
Okay.
That was one of the things I praised it for. They gave that echo.
You know what would also be great, by the way, is how you could jump behind him even though there's no point at all? Like you talk to him at the front of the desk.
Yeah.
It would be funny if you jump behind him and talk to him and he goes, "You're not supposed to be here."
You should look up how to trigger him as a boss because he is
Yeah,
fun.
good stuff.
Yeah.
So far, the hardest boss for me was probably Zangetsu. I'm only 4 bosses in.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
I never feared dying from him, but beating him flawlessly was such a chore.
Probably the hardest boss to me is probably Igarashi.
Well, I mean, what a surprise! The secret boss, yeah, okay.
But he's awesome when you fight him too. So
What's funny, by the way, is
the
he
8-bit
is a
boss is
secret
pretty
boss,
difficult.
but because the DLC exists, he's like the very first quest that you can trigger from that woman who wants you to kill X number of things.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to kill this really early game enemy and Iga. Like, what?
But there's an 8-bit boss that's pretty difficult too. When you get
Sure.
to 8-bit styled area. But yeah, it's phenomenal. I really love that game. I thought like it's the shining example of what that type of game should be.
it's both a honor, like both a great nod toward the Castlevania games, and also a great like game on itself.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
it's like Shaun of
100%.
the Dead and Hot Fuzz. Like they're parodies of zombie movies and cop dramas, but they're also legitimately good zombie movie and cop drama.
Well,
Yeah.
uh, it's a bit in reverse. Like first, they are a good game, but they have these little nods and little
Sure.
cheeky stuff that makes it wall.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Y-
yeah. Obviously, Bloodstained is not primarily like a parody or a nod, but like it's another Iga game.
I recommend it's a lot of fun collecting all of the crystals in that game. I hardly ever do that kind of thing, but it is particularly fun in this game.
Well,
So I
I've been going for
recommend
what I
that.
can get. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have level 7 Heretical Grinder. That ability is
Yeah.
fucking stupid. I'm just doing like just endless constant damage. Like I beat that fourth boss in like 20 seconds.
Well, the main sub item that I used was the bat swarm. Um,
I
it
haven't
starts
used
off
it,
like
but that's a
super.
theoretically a good one. Yeah.
It starts off super weak, but then as you level it up, you get more and more bats.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it just pummels the enemies.
I've been
Um,
doing Heretical Grinder because that's the one that comes out of you and just you just hold it there. But it's just
yeah,
doing like 35, 35. So it's just like and it's like absurd damage. It's great.
yeah. That's kind of what is great about the game is it allows you. There's a lot of different ways to be effective in it.
Yeah, well, Symphony of the Night did the same thing. Like I remember, like one of the best ways to beat the game was to have some stupid item. It was like a shield and like a cane or something, but it dealt like continual absurd damage, and you beat Final Form Dracula in like 5 to 10 seconds or something with it. It was
Well,
like comical.
wasn't it like
Yeah,
Holy Shield or something?
It might have been something like that. It was something you wouldn't expect would be like by far the best damage in the game.
Yeah, because you could
uh,
dealt contact damage to the enemies, and you could just stand there, lock an enemy into a wall, and just deal constant damage to
Yeah,
them.
that's exactly what it was. Yeah, like everybody wants the Chrysogram because it's stylish and cool, but like that shield is ridiculous.
one thing, definitely look out for the gambling boss because he is just a standout boss. I love him. He's
Yeah,
a
I mean I'm
lot of
still
fun.
early. I only have the double jump.
Yeah, yeah. Wait until you get to like the Asian themed area. Oh man, that place is a trip. Lots of ninjas, and it's pretty damn challenging. Um, I also like that a lot of the world is like cut off to you. It's kind of like there's not an inverted castle in the game, but there's certainly a like you could end the game early if you don't notice what you know
Oh sure, yeah.
that you need to go in this one area.
I mean
Um,
I'm using a guide, so it's fine.
oh, okay, yeah, I definitely recommend like playing the game to completion, and I knew you would. But
Yeah, I'm doing what I can for that. Yeah.
yeah, there's also a few like rare enemies that are like really fun when they pop up. I'm not gonna ruin those for you.
Sure.
There's one on the train that you need to look
Oh
out
yeah,
Well,
for.
I don't know locations either.
Okay, well I'm kind of just hinting at it because it's a fun one. So you'll encounter it and you'll be like, "What the fuck?" So
also we do be
I
careful. That boss
really
is
good
a
stuff.
little bit dangerous.
I'm
Um,
going for the medals, so I'm gonna see if I can learn how to no hit them.
I've been trying to get a physical copy of the Curse of the Moon, the first one.
Oh, the first one. Yeah, the first
Yeah,
one.
I'm
That was a
having a hard
limited run
time.
release. Two is just on store shelves.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with the first Curse of the Moon because like I kind of
I
decided
kind
I
of
wanted
want
it
that on. Well,
after.
I kind of want Curse of the Moon on principle, but like at the same time, I backed the game, so I got it like just it free digital download.
Yeah, yeah. I have my PC digital download as well. So, but I bought it on PS4 later just because I loved it that much.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted a physical copy of it. So, really enjoyed that game. So I'm glad that you're picking it up because
Well, I wanted to wait for the DLC to finally finish coming out because it's taken forever because they keep like periodically releasing stuff, and I'm like, when's the game gonna be fucking? Because like once I beat the game, I'm not gonna play Zangetsu mode 2 years later. You know,
Yeah.
like I want to play the game now, and I want to be done with it. So like I'm finally started.
Did they add Zangetsu mode?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I need to get back into it then, to play that, because I was also waiting for it. When I played it, barely any of the DLC had come out. So
Yeah, and that's precisely why I didn't play it. Like I'll play it when it's fucking finished.
Yeah, it took a long time.
It really did. Like I mean, I've actually. It's not like I'll get to it. Like I actually wanted to play it, but like I wanted to play it once.
Okay. Any other games that you're playing, Lotus, that you wanted to mention?
I mean, just what I'm streaming. So I'm still doing Armored Core 2 for patrons, and
I haven't played that game in a long time.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's kind of nostalgic, even though I've never played it because it just has like a PS2 aesthetic to it. And then I'm probably gonna do Elden Ring like one more time, but then I'm gonna switch over. There's a game I've been waiting for to come out that's coming out really soon that I'm excited to look into.
Nice. All right. Well, why don't we move on to fan stuff then?
Yeah, we got a couple comments from a couple people. So School Filmer said, funny enough, the way I described how, I took out Ultra Greed as the Lost sounds just about like how I did it, although I was Lazarus instead. Yeah, like, what a method. Just fucking cheat. And then he also says, Pocky and Rocky. I do remember a classmate of mine from long ago having the SNES one. I wonder what he would say about the remake. And I'm looking forward to next week because my sister and I are going to watch Turning Red. Yeah, I've heard that was a good one. Hopefully she'll like it. After all, she loves the Pixar movies. And on an unrelated
I started watching that actually right before recording. It's pretty fun.
And on an unrelated note, I watched the Cuphead show a few weeks back. I quite enjoyed it. Maybe the nephews will like it down the line. I might check that out. I mean, the whole thing with Cuphead to me is it's cool because it's a video game that calls back to old animation. I don't know if it'll hit the same if it's just actual animation like that.
I'll give it a shot at least. Yeah.
And then Living Corpse has a couple comments. What I was talking about with like critical headshot upgrades for your base pistol in Resident Evil 4. He said that critical headshot upgrade applies to the Plaga as well, so if RNG is on your side, you can crit them after they spawn, so that's pretty cool. And then
nice.
I think the Batman cartoon, you know how we were talking about the Akira bike slide?
Oh, yeah.
I think the Batman cartoon did that thing twice, because Robin did it in an episode, and he's not in Mask of the Phantasm. I was thinking of the Robin slide. Yeah, I haven't seen Mask of the Phantasm in like 20 years, so like I didn't even remember that.
Mask of the Phantasm did a different part of Akira.
Okay.
So he did the slide. Robin did the slide. You're right. Actually, the Batman the Animated Series. A lot of people don't realize this, but it was done by the same animation studio as Akira. So there
you go.
When they did there was a portion of Batman Return of the Joker where they did like a like Batman Beyond Return of the Joker where they did like a space laser scene.
Okay.
And like
where he's driving through town trying to like the laser's just following him, which is the scariest shit ever.
Yeah, the director of that scene was the guy who did the Akira one, like the animation director, and he said that was kind of his updated take on that scene.
That's
like
great.
The space laser stuff. So he got to do his ultimate version of it in Batman Return of the Joker.
That's awesome.
So yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, but like it has a lot of same key staff. So like. Of course there were references, because like also the people making it were anime nerds before that was a thing. So, Paul Dini's like the ultimate otaku before there were like American otakus. So, but yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. Because Mask of the Phantasm deserves a lot more, lot better than it gets credit for. So.
Oh sure.
Anyway.
And then our question of the day, Fakafon asks, do you ever have moments where you see certain old media with outdated mechanics or themes, but it doesn't bother you? For example, I'm fine with older games having no autosaves, despite my being a little peeved when newer ones don't have it. I guess it's because new games are more prone to problems. Just how do they operate nowadays is hard to say. Personally, I agree with that. I actually like having... I don't know if I'm hardcore about autosaves versus not, but I definitely want the option of a manual save. Like, I get concerned when games are autosave only, because you can be
just wanna make
overwritten
sure.
and not be able to go back.
Yeah. Actually, I'm really relieved when we don't have to do things like passwords anymore, or when we have like
Yeah.
updated versions of old games. Passwords were the worst, and they were very limited form of saving. A lot of times when you did like a password for Mega Man, for instance, like it wouldn't carry over all your E tanks, so you would need to like regrind for your E tanks.
Yeah.
So like stop, like that stuff is I'm glad that it's over with. There's certain things I'm glad. Certain save point kind of nonsense as well.
I do like having multiple save slots, though.
I
That's
do
also
like
nice.
that. Yeah, I do like that. But old games. I'm trying to think of like the
An old
most games
mechanic you
have
don't mind.
only gotten better in this regard. It's the only games that really haven't like you just look forward to the quaintness of it, but like it's kind of, if it did have modern niceties, it would be even better.
Well, actually, I'll give an opposite version. Here's an
Okay.
old mechanic I don't mind, even though it's like stupid. Like in the old Resident Evils, where you could aim forward 45 degrees up or 45 degrees down. That's it. And it's like, wouldn't it be better if you could free aim? But at the same time, the game was like designed around that combat mechanism.
Yeah.
So if you could aim better, it would like break parts of the game. Like if you could just aim at the head all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It
Twin
remi-
Snakes is like that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, actually, what I was gonna say was Killer 7, because when Killer 7 came out on Steam, the shortcut keys were like the greatest thing ever. You don't have to menu your way to change
Yeah.
personalities and everything. But the fact that the game was widescreen and you could aim with the mouse, that broke the game in your favor, because you used to be at the mercy of the scroll speed when you move the control stick. But with mouse movement, the game is way easier and more precise, which is it's a good thing. But like, certain parts become trivial, like the second fight with Ayame Blackburn, where her gimmick is she's running left and right, and you have to like pan to follow her. But with widescreen, you don't have to pan as much, and when you're aiming with the mouse, you're just like whip your
Yeah, it's
wrist over,
supposed to
got
be
her, yeah.
intentionally disorienting too. In the original
That
version.
this game was
Yeah.
like, it was designed for 4x3 screens and not mouse aim, so like
Yeah.
it's better for the player, but it takes away part of what made that fight what it was.
Yeah.
So like it's not that I'm nostalgic for that mechanic of TVs and controls being worse, but like, again, the game was designed around that specifically. So like, it's easier for me, which is good, but then I beat like a pretty late game boss and I'm like, that was it.
Yeah. Absolutely. How about you, Dracologist? Anything to weigh in on this?
Old school mechanics. What I miss mostly is like, well, naming your save files. It seems to be an extinct
Oh.
concept. What I kind of miss from
That's a very good point, because like, even when I played old school Resident Evil 4, like the GameCube version, I made separate save files in front of a bunch of bosses because they were so cool. But it's like save file 1, save file 2. If I
Yeah.
could call them the boss names or something, that would have been nice.
Yeah. Especially for a streamer like you.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I would have done it for that, but like, this was just for me personally, like just in my own little universe. But like, it's just convenient to be able to name your files.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Any other things to weigh in on this one, gentlemen?
Oh, I'm trying to think here. I guess there's also concepts like limited inventory, which I generally don't like. But like, again, it's a lot of stuff where like, if the game's designed around it, like a lot of people say they want a Silent Hill 1 remake, and it probably would work, right? Like Resident Evil 1's remake was freaking excellent. Resident Evil 2's remake, oh, but won't it be broken if you can aim your gun freely? Well, they thought about that. The enemies had more hit points, stuff like... So Resident Evil 2's remake worked, like, because they adjusted. But, like, a lot of my stuff comes down to the game being designed around the old concepts. Like, the Resident Evil 2 remake is designed around new concepts. So, like, they didn't just give it a fresh coat of paint and, like, make the game incredibly easy because it's a third-person shooter now. They made a new game, so it works. But, like, in regard to Silent Hill being remade... on one hand, my response would be part of why it's creepy is because it has the PS1 aesthetic, so visuals are a little vague. But on the other hand, if they remade it with clear visuals, they would go in a different direction, so that would work too. But, like, again, part of the janky visuals, like, are why it works as a horror game. If you're looking for a realistic simulator, then it's terrible, but there's a certain quality about it that's just a little bit unsettling, and I don't know if it was intentional or not.
I thought of something that might be related here. With one-on-one fighting games, I'm really, I miss the bygone era of including all of the characters up front, rather than having to buy, like either a portion of them or whatever. Later on, at least, like,
Yeah, because, like, the idea is that it keeps the players playing because it's online tournament-based. But, yeah, old games were not online tournament-based. It was, like, you and your brother or your friend or something. So, like, here you go. This is the game.
I mean, back then, fighting games had minor iteration problem. You had to buy a new
Street
game.
Fighter 2's 16th release. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Guilty Gear had that same issue. Mortal Kombat has the same issue. So, I mean, like, all the really popular, really good fighting games.
MK3 Ultimate. Yeah.
Yeah, they had minor, and then they had Trilogy. I mean, like, there was, like, minor additions.
Trilogy was pretty kick-ass. And to be fair, that was on a new platform.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying here.
Yes.
You had minor iterations. You had up Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Super Street
probably
Fighter
the last
Turbo.
example of this I can think of is Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Ultimate, which were different games. So, like, you had to, like, rebuy the game, which was some bullshit. So, as much as I don't like having to keep buying characters, you buy the game itself once. But what I prefer is being able to unlock characters. Because, like, for Mortal Kombat, for example, Mortal Kombat 9, they have the base game, and then they have the complete game, right? Like, all the DLC's out, you could buy the complete game. That's what I like. What I don't like is that... I think Mortal Kombat X's big edition fixed this. But in Mortal Kombat 9, like, everything was just unlocked. And, like, that's, like... I'm not a fighting game guy. If I'm going to play a fighting game, like, Mortal Kombat's big on the story, but I want to unlock shit. If everything's already unlocked, then I'm just kind of like, oh, now I just sit here. Like, that's what I loved about Soul Calibur. Like, you're unlocking shit, like, every 3 seconds.
That was a lot of fun. I loved unlocking stuff in the original 2 Soul Calibur games.
Even
really
3. Like, it just kept going. 4, there was a degree of it. 5 is just a bad... Well, I don't know if it's a bad game. I think it's actually a pretty good fighter, but 5 just was bare bones.
Yeah, disappointing.
I still got to play 6, and then they 6 got in on the DLC game, which I'm disappointed by. But they have cool DLC. They have fucking 2B from Nier Automata.
That's pretty cool.
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I kind of focus on because, like, I was like, I recently bought was it Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite because it was, like, on super sale, and because I was just like, I kind of want to play as Mike Hagar.
You know what's a good idea is to remember rights issues and not include the X-Men in the X-Men versus Street Fighter game.
Oh, jeez. Well, nowadays that would be ironed out.
If Infinite came out today, it might be a different story. But, like, the faces of each side are Ryu and Wolverine, and you don't have the X-Men in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
You know what would be pretty cool is I don't think they've ever done any of the Fantastic Four in any of those games. So
the closest they've ever come was Super Skrull.
Yeah.
That's as good as it's gonna get, and that was MVC3.
Well, he has all their powers, right? So I guess that's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
cool.
yeah, that's as close as it's not the Fantastic Four, but that's as good as you're gonna get.
That does. I would say that counts though.
At least
Then
you
because
Okay,
can
okay.
win.
yeah, I mean it's kind of cool that he has all four of their powers. So
Yeah.
that's pretty neat. But yeah, I think whatever if they ever do another one like a fourth game or a fifth game, I think it'll more than likely be a gigantic game. Like just have so many freaking characters.
Yeah, I mean, I want them to do like this is a very different kind of game. It's not a fighting game, but I want them to do like Project Cross Zone, where just everyone from everything, or like Super Robot Tyson,
Yeah.
just everyone from everything.
That would
Big
be a lot
O's
of
here?
fun.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah, sure. Like you? Really? You?
One of my favorite, like most baffling things I've seen, I think, was I don't think you've seen the anime Symphogear. I don't know if it would
No.
really be your thing, but my friend Mr. Ryu showed it to me, and it was pretty fun. But like, they had a crossover with like Attack on Titan, like for a mobile title, and like, I guess the connective tissue is that both characters have to defend against radically insurmountable odds, but like, Symphogear doesn't go into like the constant PTSD and misery that Attack on Titan does. So it's really weird to see like the cutesy characters from Symphogear teaming up with Attack on Titan, and they're both like, let's do a duo attack. And I'm like, like, it's just really weird. Japan has some wild crossovers sometimes. Like, I never thought you'd see these two properties together.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Anything else, gentlemen?
No, I think I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, that's the show for this week. Please remember to subscribe to the Corrective Consciousness YouTube and SoundCloud pages. While there, please give us thumbs ups, likes, and 5-star ratings on iTunes. Helps spread awareness of the show, and any bit of encouragement helps keep the show going. And you can also catch us on Thursdays for our... that is the wrong script. Oh God! You can catch us on Tuesdays.
Right, it's okay. It's okay. It's over 50 minutes, but less than an hour. We can redo this, the whole thing.
Take two. The podcast, Reactive Consciousness, the in-depth look at this week in our lives. That happens on Tuesdays, guys. Finally, you can friend me as vysethebold on pretty much anything.
Script? More like Vice tripped. And now watch as I deliver a flawless outro, which I damn well better do because I just said it was going to be. And you can follow me on my YouTube channel, Lotus Prince. You can hit me up on Twitter at Lotus Prince. And finally, if you are interested in seeing my videos early, such as Soul Reaver, getting in on exclusive live streams, such as Armored Core 2, which, by the way, I unlocked the Moonlight Laser Blade in. Moonlight Sword trend continues, baby. And it wasn't even a late game thing this time. I can't believe it. I got the Moonlight Sword and it wasn't even that hard. Selecting upcoming games for me to Let's Play. I stumbled for a second there. The aforementioned Soul Reaver, and finally getting in conversations with me and other patrons on Discord. Then please feel free to swing by my Patreon account, which can be found at my... Oh, there it is. There's the mistake. At patreon.com/LotusPrince.
Wonderful.
I stumbled at the finish line.
And you can find me on Skype and Discord under the name Dracologist. And on Steam.
Wonderful. Well, that's just Prime. We'll catch everybody on Tuesday then.
Until next time, everyone.
Good
Bye-bye.
evening.